Oh, how much are you gambling in here again? Oh, sorry, thousands. Oh,
we can make that go away.
We'll edit that out. No. Well, I'm here.
Lovely.
I'm here. We're all here.
Very nice.
All right.
Very nice.
None of us are gambling.
No, absolutely no gambling.
We're gambling. I don't even. What did someone mention?
Who mentioned that?
No. Right, get on with it.
Yeah.
Right, well here we are, back in the Fox and Hound. It is episode 6.
I believe it is.
Ticking on. Yeah. Episode Fox and Hound, episode 6.
Yep.
We've got quite a lot to talk about. What we've got on today then, Steve?
We do. Well, I think we need to start off with a bit of a review, don't we, about the games that we've had this week.
Yep.
Starting off...
well, we didn't have a game.
No, West Brom didn't play.
We're done now.
Sadly. You're done, you're finished.
Yeah.
So you were obviously at the game on the Brighton game.
I was definitely at the Brighton game
on Saturday.
Yeah.
We didn't. There was
against.
Who was it that played again?
They're the Dingles.
Yeah, dirty. Bin bags for curtains.
Bin bags for curtains.
Oh, Wolverhampton. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's them.
Was,
There was a suggestion. I think it's from me actually.
I did sing outside to a load of them. Yeah.
Good.
I did. I sang the. I mean, it's a West Brom song, but it works. I picked it because it works for Brighton as well.
Okay,
so we were in the queue to come in, and then a load of dingles all walking past, all like giving shit. So I just started singing. We're Albion till we die. We're Albion till we die. We're blue and white. The Wolves are shy. We're Albion till we die. And they all knew, like straight away, they all sort of turned and looked. And then obviously they're like, and they're like walking up there. I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Brilliant. This is why I suggested we should have John Cam for that particular game, but a missed opportunity.
I couldn't, mate. They wouldn't have heard me. There weren't enough of them turned up after the tickets were on resale. Which actually a really good mate of mine was able to bring his daughter for the first time, and what a great, like right behind the goals.
Nice.
Right behind the goals.
And there was obviously enough space because Wolves didn't bring hardly any fans down.
1,000. They were 1,000.
They were light. I mean, you can understand why, right? Because
why would you want to come all the way down to Brighton?
And by the time
when you're down,
by the time we text John to say where's that live cam, we were 2-0 up.
exactly.
Yeah. Which, speaking of which, Brighton's fastest ever goal in the Prem from Hinchwood.
35
seconds.
35 seconds.
Yeah.
It came up as a minute.
Yeah.
But it was like, well, we'll wait until the official time comes out because there was no way that was a minute.
Yeah, 35 seconds. My son was convinced. He said, and he told his mum this very, very, and he was adamant. He went, we scored after 5 seconds. I was like,
not quite 5 seconds.
Close, but yeah.
I mean, it was, in between the two goals, because second goal was under 5 minutes.
4 minutes.
So I barely had enough time to finish celebrating that. By the time I'd finished yelling abuse at the Wolves fans, they scored another.
There's another one.
And I was like, I got to carry on now.
Start all over again.
It felt like it was going to be another 6-0 demolishing, and then I think we just started controlling the game and relaxed, didn't we? Which fine.
Yeah.
Don't mind that too.
Yeah, I actually heard some people post-match having a bit of a moan actually about the fact that they said it was a bit boring. I'm like, I get it wasn't the most exciting game after the initial start, but in a game where all you have to do is win and preferably get your goal difference up a little bit, in the race for Europe, and you've won 3-0.
If they'd have kept that intensity up through the whole game, A, they'd have been knackered. B, there'd have been injuries.
Yeah.
Literally, it would have been about 12-0.
Yeah.
They had to sit back.
Yeah. Well, you hope they conserve a little bit for the upcoming games, you know.
But they've got to win every game, haven't they? So you know, why go and take risks? Then you get them coming on. That's where injuries come in.
That's where injuries come
Well,
in.
speaking of injuries, Mitoma in the background there.
Yes.
I feel for him from a Brighton fan, but also from a Japan point of view. It
Yeah.
looks like he is going to miss the World Cup.
So he's going to miss the World Cup
It
now.
looks
I
like
know
it,
he's
isn't
going to
it?
miss the end of the season, but we weren't sure whether it would come out where he's actually going to miss the
I
World
don't
Cup.
think it's officially confirmed, but it looks like it's
Not
good
looking
enough
good.
injury to put him out
Yeah.
at least for the group stage, and then you're a half fit player going into the knockouts if they get there. Obviously.
I think one of the best points of the day for me was at half time when Kieran got his phone out and we looked at the half time stats, and every positive stat was naught, all the way down the Wolves side. So it was like no advances, literally like their pass rate was shit. There was no attempts on goals, no corners, no attempts on target. There weren't even any attempts on goal. It was literally just like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Well, the longest that Wolves had the ball for the entire game were the supporters that nicked the football that were kicking it around.
Yeah, that tells the story, really, doesn't it?
I mean, it was a demolishing, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And speaking of the World Cup and Matoma potentially missing out, let's discuss Hinshelwood and Welbeck. Welbeck's in the provisional. Should Hinshelwood be there as well?
55.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Hinshelwood one's interesting, isn't it? Because he has hit a bit of form. I mean, and also, you know, he's obviously played for the 21s, and he's played in a variety of positions. So he's played in a deep line midfield role. He's played at fullback, and he played at fullback almost all tournament, didn't he? For the 21s,
Well, his
and did really well.
percentages in each role is not. They're not like it's not like it's 60% in one role and then his percentages in each role are quite even.
Fairly equal.
He's played all those different roles for Brighton and
proficiently, really,
very well in them as well.
So
but I think he's found his place.
I mean, in that more advanced role, I really like the look of him. Obviously, we know he can be a goal threat. I have moaned about his finishing on this very podcast. But he scored a brilliant goal at Newcastle. Finished that off really well. That header on Saturday against Wolves was fantastic. So he's getting there with that.
He's putting his name in for a shout, but for me, not. I think there's players in that position he's not gonna catch. So he's still a little bit. I think he's very young still. I think for the future, another 5 years, you know, by that time we'll have had a Euros. He'd have played in the. I mean, he's played in the England under. Was it under 21s?
21s, yeah.
So he's played for the under 21s England. He's getting better and better. I think he's fighting for that position now, and I think he's solidified himself in as far as Brighton go. I think you know, you've got 2 years Euros, creep him in there maybe. I think by the next World Cup, he's a shoo-in for that position. If he carries on this progression. I think he's going to be. I don't think he'd be at Brighton. I think he'd be one of the.
No, he'll be at Chelsea.
He'll be at Chelsea.
80 million.
Yeah, he's probably
right. For an international stage, he's that utility man almost, isn't he? He can play and cover a lot of positions.
Yeah.
I'd argue probably as a number 10, he's probably nowhere near the England starting or even back.
When you look at the competition,
it's that full-back, that right-back, where we have a problem at the moment for England. There's lots of injuries going around, there's discussions to be had around that.
Yeah, maybe I agree. I think the versatility might be the thing that does get him in, because he can play on those different positions.
I think he's starting to grow into his body a bit now, physically as well.
Yeah,
he seems to have a lot more strength and being able to control his Premier League defenders.
His frame, you look at him, he looks like he's bulked out a bit from last season, and he's.
No, I was going to say, like, he as a defensive player, the only thing I think he really struggled with was like his size-wise, but he's, like you're saying, he's bulked out now. Started to become, you know, proper man's body. Like he'll get, you know, stuck in and fight players twice his size off the ball. So you've got that.
Yeah, it's good.
I just think at the moment, I don't think I think there's just better players in those positions at the moment. But I think definitely if you're looking at
The future.
2 years down the line, Euros, maybe.
He's from a football
4 years
family,
forward,
isn't he?
so,
So he's gonna be protected and guided through his career.
Yeah.
So he's getting the right guidance.
Yes.
I mean, any little injuries,
100%.
little niggles and stuff, he's never out for very long. And then he's back in and he's always covering positions then.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, hang on a minute, but he's still doing, he's still playing well in those positions.
And honourable mentions to Dunk coming back, looked fine, scored a good goal as well.
Looks lean.
Yeah, looks good.
Very,
Looks
very
lean.
solid.
When he came out, I had to check the back of his shirt when they were warming up because
Is that a month off?
he's looking. He's not.
Yeah.
He's obviously putting the work in because he almost looks a bit smaller. He looks a bit leaner. His shoulders don't look as big. He doesn't. He looks like a lot more athletic than he has done in the past. So he's obviously taking it serious that he wants to carry on and stay in the team because he's got the knowledge.
Yeah, and then Gross, yet another assist. It was actually credited to him for an assist. And then Minte, who we've discussed a few times, great turn, great finish, and again, it was just something else on Saturday.
It was, yeah. He was good. I mean, we gave him a bit of stick after the Newcastle game where he did have an absolute stinker. But as a young player, you've got to allow a young player to have the odd stinker, haven't you?
I've said for a while
he was good again on Saturday. Scored a goal, like I said, it was a great goal, great finish, out of nothing really. He made that for himself.
I've said for a while that like his speed and his ability to run at defenders is pretty outstanding. But his final touch and his finishing has never really been up there. But it seems it's coming. And I said, beginning of last season, I was saying to Kieran, if he carries this on, if he gets another season in the first team, and then without injury, and then starts like actually finishing some of these runs, actually making good passes, making good crosses, scoring goals, he could be Brighton's next £100 million player because his speed and athleticism and the way he's able to run at defence and get back and defend. Like he's not just one of those players like as much as we liked João Pedro was fucking lazy and still is. Like, he comes out, comes back from injury and scores goals. Like you can't knock the guy. He's a goal scorer. That's what he's there for. But he's fucking lazy.
Minte does the ugly bits as well, and he's got so much energy to get up and down that he can be in those defensive positions.
He's just got to get that goal scoring, which looks like he's doing.
And then you briefly obviously linked there João Pedro with Chelsea. Chelsea do have a couple of games that could scupper Brighton's chances of Europe. So they finally scored at Saturday. First game was Liverpool. Naturally, we wanted Liverpool to win to help our chances of them finishing higher than Villa. Champions League spot becomes available. You've got that, and then also an FA Cup final, which could scupper potentially a European place.
Again, I know. It's.
I'm not greatly confident, to be quite honest. However, the only thing you can say about Chelsea, whatever team they put out at finals, they always perform. And when you think about it, nobody gave us a hope in hell against PSG.
I've never really. Chelsea's never been on my radar. And the problem with I've got my only essential problem with Chelsea is back in the day is buying success, which is my problem with Man City of buying success. Now, out of the two in this final, I'd want Chelsea to win it, even though, because I'm not essentially a Brighton supporter, although I'm kind of becoming one. But your problem, I think Brighton's problem with players, maybe Cucurella fine, but players that leave, every time they come back to Brighton, most of them get booed. Right now, there's certainly like McAllister, but he got a kind of hero's welcome of it.
Always will, because he left in the right way.
Well, left in the right way and the wrong way. I would still, out of those two teams though, want Chelsea to win because of the Brighton connection.
I think the Brighton connection with Chelsea.
I'd rather them win than Man City. I'm sick of Man City winning stuff.
Well, we've loaned you quite a few players over the years.
They can win it one more time.
We've loaned you quite a few players over the years. We've developed some players for us, so there's been a good relationship there. developing players. And we bought quite a few of your team.
I'm not sure that's where it came from. I think
at board level, I think it is
was, probably is. But and I don't think that most Brighton supporters have got an issue with Chelsea because they bought players from it. Keep giving us money, they don't care.
Yeah.
I think the problem came was Potter jumping ship. But
that was
already
that was the big
in his head arranging, like he knew he was going to Chelsea. He knew, like, we sell these players, I'm going to take them with me. I'm going to take this player with me. I'm going to take that backroom staff with me. I'm going to take this coach with me.
Yeah,
like he already
sporting director as well.
Director. So he already knew he had that. So from Brighton's point of view, parking spaces were rented out.
Still.
And I think it was that thing of like you've taken our manager, well, he's dumped us basically, and then you've got this whole thing of like, well, now you've taken all our best players, and it's just money. Well, fuck you, we don't need it, and we'll develop players and do this and do that, and you can. I think the problem was at the time, Chelsea weren't doing any better than Brighton, and then progression is that Brighton have become quite a good squad, and now are fighting those positions with Chelsea. So you've done all of that to go to a club who aren't doing that much better.
And aren't paying a lot more money either.
So, but then he gets sacked and he gets a fucking Roger Cash. So he gets a big payout because he gets sacked because he can't fucking do the job.
Talking about managers there, I think one thing that we haven't mentioned yet about Brighton, and even as a Chelsea fan, I have greatest respect, is for your manager Hertzler. 32 years old. And he's done the trip, but he's come in there and it's starting to look like a side that's of his making.
You're not having him leave him alone.
He was
where he's going.
I think it's Javi Alonso going to Chelsea, and I'm not very happy about it.
He was becoming kind of like, he was starting to get some stick from the Brighton supporters. It was the whole thing of it was. He wasn't really fan friendly. They were starting to get on his back a bit. He was getting a little bit too much, like just pass the ball round, and it was like, and then
lack of identity I think was bandied about a lot.
And then people are like, these players have like worked their arse off in like the first 60 minutes, and they're on their arse. They're literally on their arse, and you're not making substitutions, and we're losing the game in the last 10 minutes, and it's your fault because you haven't made substitutions. So he's starting to get a lot of flack. Then all of a sudden, there was like a little bit of a turn in pace, where yes, he got a few players back off injury. Gross came back in. He actually started playing two wingers. He started playing Minte, and he started playing Matoma on the left.
For me, it was that Arsenal game where he finally joined the fans in, what, anti-football, get the backs up. And then you've gone to the point where he gave a little bit of a passionate, against Liverpool, passionate one to the North Stand. And then at least to Saturday where he's doing the fist pump to the North Stand.
He's German, they're not emotional people.
I don't know.
We did judge him badly, but the turnaround between the relationship that he had with the fans at that point when he was getting stick and the relationship that he has now is nothing short of incredible for me. You can really tell that he's worked on that as well, and you can tell when he's interviewed and in his program notes, and he's very, very, he talks about the fans a lot, and he talks about the togetherness. And he's starting to display it on the pitch and coming to the fans.
He's getting,
that was a big criticism.
And he's getting a few yellow cards.
Which we love.
Which we love it. I don't care.
He's 32. He's very young.
And he's starting to show passion for the club. I think
and talking about playing for the badge.
It's fine showing passion for the game. We all like showing passion for the game, but he's starting to show passion for the club. I think that's. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's where Chelsea have had a problem with swapping managers in just consecutively. Is is the never mind the players, the fans haven't got a relationship with the manager. If you had a manager in that the fans loved, they would start getting behind the manager. The players would, the players would naturally start, because they would get that. You know, you get that atmosphere in the stadium. It gets a bit louder. You know, the manager turns around and he's like that. Then all of a sudden the players are going into the corner at 89th minute, going like this to the crowd. Well, like it built. We've had it. We had that where it was dipped at Brighton, and now all of a sudden, now you've got Minte walking to the corner and going like this, like trying to get the crowd going.
Yeah, it's a difference.
Speaking of a manager that gets very emotional, that likes to cry and have a bit of a whine, let's talk about Mikel Arteta and West Ham 0 after 1. Yeah, where do you start with this one? Naturally, it has to be that VAR decision.
I'll start with this one.
I've got an opinion on this, as we all have, I'm sure.
I'm sure. So my problem is not with the West Ham goal, that it was a foul on Raya, right? It was a foul on Raya. I don't think anyone can say that, right? That you've got two problems with that though. So someone five problems. So there was 5 fouls in the box before that foul was even there. So that says to me that there's either a problem with refereeing or there's a problem with VAR. Because without a shadow of a doubt, I don't care if it was involved in play or not, the ball was in play. McAllister, literally 2 arms around, can't remember who it was, but
Trossard, sorry.
Trossard, McAllister. And Trossard with 2 arms around, I can't remember the player, but literally,
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice is doing the same thing.
Declan Rice does that all the time. He did it against United, he did it against Chelsea.
And that's the point.
If the same thing had happened that in different games, I saw someone pull this up on social media, Arsenal would have lost 9 points during the season. 9 points. Correct. They wouldn't even be in the running. So if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. The fact that VAR, the people that do this VAR, and we've had this before. We had it with Man United against fuck knows who it was. But Man United basically when do you remember the game when we got sent off? The defender got sent off. Maguire got sent off. Right, so up one end of the pitch, Mainu gets swung round, right, arm across the chest, pulled round. He completely gets spun round, lands on the ball on his back, and the referee carries the game on. It goes straight up the other end.
So within
Maguire
a minute,
does almost exactly the same thing and gets a red card and it's a penalty. The harshest punishment, red card and penalty. There's nothing else on the pitch that beats that. You can get a red card, you can get a penalty. Red card and a penalty. Right?
It's been the triple threat. It's not meant to be a penalty, red card, unless if you're intentionally playing the ball. I think there's got
the only thing can be worse is if it's the goalkeeper red carded and then it's a penalty. That's the only thing worse than that, right? So if you can take a situation where you're throwing your arms around, for me, the rule next year, thank God this has all come out because they're looking at it through the course of the World Cup, so it will this will change going into Premier League.
For sure,
If you are seen to have literally a handful of someone's shirt, or you've got your arms physically around someone, it's a penalty. It's a penalty. It's a foul.
It should be that now.
It should be that now.
It has to be.
I don't care if you're not even moving, if you're not pulling him around. I don't care if you've got your arms around a player. As far as I'm concerned, it's not allowed. It's rugby tackling. We have seen it so many times in the Premier League over the course of this season and last season, where the players have, this whole slowing, like you watch it in real time, and someone like a tackle comes in, and they brush the sock of the the attacking player get the ball, and then it goes out, and they go slow-mo. Look, there's contact.
Yeah.
And it's that to me is not a foul.
2 points there.
No,
yeah.
but
So
that
a few
is a
seasons
foul.
ago,
End of story.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, a few seasons ago, they gave so many penalties for that, and it got boring because it was the same thing happening, and it got
Over
to
and
the
over
point where
again.
it was boring.
And don't do it.
However, yes, on your point on the slow motion, Jared Bowen had a brilliant interview after the game.
Yeah, I
if
saw
you haven't
that.
watched
He
it, go
was-
back and watch
yeah,
it.
he was
answered
fantastic.
it very level-headed for
Yeah,
a
he
player
did.
that's just lost a big game.
Unbelievably so,
The,
actually.
the key point in that was that if you look at something long enough in slow motion with everything going on, you are going to find something wrong.
Yeah.
Which is right. It's
course.
wrong though because VAR is
5 minutes.
clear and obvious. If it takes more than a minute and you're looking at 16 different replays, different angles and slow mo, and there's 5 people looking at it,
You'll find it.
it shouldn't be given.
No,
it should stay with on-field decision, which was a goal, by the way. It was given as a goal.
Yeah.
It should have been.
And I saw that interview with Bowen, and I agree. It was a really, really measured response to it. But what I subsequently found out was that Chris Kavanagh was told by the VAR officials, you need to look at Declan Rice's manhandling of
that was
the
after,
West Ham. You need to look at these fouls, and apparently the response they couldn't provide him, from what I understand, with good enough footage of those. God knows why, because we all saw it. We all saw it on the TV.
He was on the mic'd up. He said, "You need to tell me what I'm looking at because I don't know," which is a concern straight away. For him.
Of course it is. Yeah. So the process is flawed because he then sort of parked that and went, well, I can't see those, so I'm just going to go straight to this incident and spend 5 or 6 minutes trying to work out if that was a foul.
Who was it that got a penalty at Brighton?
The whole thing was just
the referee gave absolutely the right call. I think it was against Chelsea, and then possibly Cucurella. I can't remember who it was, but they just dived, and it was an obvious dive. It made such a fuss up. Like and that was one of those things. Slow mo. There's the contact, right? But then if you watch it in real time, he literally just glides slightly past his socks, gets all the ball, and the referee said no, and that was fine, and then VAR called it back, and then it ended up being a penalty.
It's consistency, isn't it? We've had a hair pull for a red card the other day on Calvert-Lewin. Was it on Calvert-Lewin or was it Calvert-Lewin? Then did one.
Then Calvert-Lewin then did one, and it wasn't even.
It wasn't a red card. It's consistency.
It is consistency.
For me, VAR does work. It does work. However, the officiating in England is an awful standard. And if you've got human error, then it won't work.
The only thing it should be for is there should be goal line technology and offsides. That's it. That's it. I don't want to see.
That can be automated.
We don't have any.
It can, they've got
We don't have
doing it for
any.
that,
We don't have any VAR in the Championship, and the goal celebrations. The even that I mean, Welbeck scoring a goal and then just
spontaneous goal celebration.
Someone shared on X,
and then just literally waits and goes like that.
Could you imagine the Aguero moment when that happens? And they go, "Hang on, we're just going to check if Balotelli's made a foul." Could you imagine?
Yeah, that's mental. It's mental.
But what it means for West Ham is that they are in the bottom, and they're obviously sitting there, probably watching the Spurs game. 1-1 in the end. What a save by Kinski at the end.
One of the saves of the season.
A keeper that was hooked after 15 minutes for conceding 3 goals very quickly. 2 months ago.
He also, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the one against your favourite team, John, Wolves, where he...
Say that again.
So... Yeah, I think it was the last minute of the game when Spurs were winning 1-0, weren't they? They scored after the 75th minute. And there was a free kick awarded to Wolves on the edge of the box. I don't know who took it, I can't remember. But my God, it was an absolutely world-class save from Kingsley. So you look at those 2 saves might keep them up.
Tough games, mate. Tough games. I would say probably if you went on, if I was to put a bet on a team with momentum, I'm sorry to say it, but I'm betting on West Ham. And
to stay up.
To stay up.
I'd say the opposite.
I think that momentum, I think, says everything. And I think West Ham and they're not, like, I know that the goal was disallowed, but they did not let Arsenal get away with it.
They fought for it.
But Newcastle
think-
away, Leeds at home for West Ham,
Yeah.
Chelsea away, and then Everton at home for Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I don't
that
see a
much
point,
difference in this. Not
They're-
that much
I
difference
don't-
in the two. Like they're not that different. But
There's
if you look
not.
at the,
Chelsea will be very
with the game
motivated to
if you look
to
at
beat
the other
Spurs,
end,
right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They're
if
going
you
to
look
want
at if you look at the
Yeah.
other end with a game in hand, Man City have got Chelsea and then I think well not what is it, Chelsea and then Palace. They've got Chelsea and Palace. I don't think that's that bad, right? And then but
No, they beat
Arsenal,
Palace last night. didn't they?
Arsenal they
They beat
and then
Palace last
Arsenal
night.
yeah 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
So Arsenal have got so
You're
who
talking at the other end of the table. So City, City have Chelsea in the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
They've
That's
got
Saturday, isn't it?
Bournemouth and Villa.
Bournemouth
Yeah,
and
Bournemouth
Villa.
and Villa.
Yeah, but they've got another game.
Yeah.
That's it. They
That's
play
it.
They played
last
last
night.
year. They
That's
played
it.
last
They
night.
played
That's
last
the
night.
three.
Yeah.
So if Arsenal draw 1-1 and Man City win, they then go ahead of Arsenal on
Goal
Goal difference. Yeah.
That's how close it is.
But to throw that out there, Arsenal have a very poor Burnley side at home, and then Palace away a few days after a European final.
Yeah. They definitely on paper have the easier running, don't they? You got to say.
But
And-
Burnley played well
I don't
last
know.
week, to be honest.
I don't know.
They did, and I got an unexpected point against Villa, which did us a
Did
bit
us
of a favour, to be honest. So you never know, but it's
And I think Brighton have definitely got the easier run out of the
well. When you look at Brentford and
Brighton
Bournemouth,
and then Bournemouth have both got.
we've got the better game.
Top
And
teams. We've got the better
Bournemouth,
games.
speaking of Bournemouth, 16 games unbeaten, which is the longest run of any side in the
That's
Premiership.
mad. That's madness that they're not. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you
You say about an
know,
easier run.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Got to
mean,
lose some point, haven't they?
well, I mean, so they've got Man City at home on. I think it's next. They play after us, don't they? So we play on Sunday. They play City at home on the Tuesday night. It's not an easy game for City, and there's a lot riding on it for Bournemouth. That's going to be quite an intriguing game, I think.
Yeah, I
and
think so. Have you seen the have you seen the no VAR table?
Then,
So the first
yes,
three don't
yes.
change. So
I have.
Arsenal would still be top, Man City second.
Yeah,
With more points, Man United would be third, and Brighton would be fourth.
What does that mean? Does that mean we don't get the good decisions, or do we?
That means
This is
we
against
don't.
us.
yeah, we
They
don't. I
get
think
us.
it's
without
going
VAR.
against us.
Without VAR.
Yeah.
Without
Although
VAR,
obviously
goals
that-
still stand.
It
but
doesn't take into account whether it was right or wrong, but let's
they're
just say
different.
without. But
Get rid of VAR.
yeah,
You'd be fourth.
Speaking of VAR and getting rid of it, the Championship, as you mentioned, doesn't have it.
Nope.
Brilliant game, Middlesbrough versus Southampton.
And we don't want it. The
No.
chants
Brilliant
were
game.
going out everywhere.
Yeah.
We don't want it.
Great
We
game.
don't want it.
I think there should have probably been 2 or 3 penalties given that the ref maybe didn't, because it was Andrew Madley, who was a Premier League referee, probably waiting for that VAR.
Hull City.
yeah,
Hull City.
yeah. Which
So
never.
Hull City await Southampton,
Yeah.
or do they? Spygate.
Right. So
Yeah, I mean this is going to
first
go
of
away.
all,
This isn't going to
first
go
of
away.
all, my first thoughts on this were grow up. You can go. They do open training sessions. You've got hours and hours and hours of game footage of them playing in games all through the season. You're at the end of
Also,
the season. What?
There's a big hill next to their
Okay.
training ground.
Yeah.
It's a golf course and a hill.
But the thing that changes my mind is why hide in bushes? Why take change of clothes? Why be sneaky about it? Now, for one game that they won, that is cheating. Whether it gave them an advantage or not, it's cheating. So I would say a fine. Just give them a fine.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I think
fine.
I think the guy's missed a trick. He should have just said he was flashing.
Yeah, true. And
Could have got away with it.
yeah, obviously got a little fine.
You know,
One of my mates is a Southampton fan, and they think
Well, I
there's
just want to make this
things
point.
on-
I just want to make this point quickly. The problem is that I've got is that how long have they been doing this for? They were shite through the middle of the season, and I mean shit, dropping places by the week.
well, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they have this great run in form. They're then knocking on the door of
They brought a
automatic.
new manager in
They
now,
get-
didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what happened? The new manager sends someone out to
Yeah.
spy on all the teams, and then all of a sudden they have this run of like how incredible they are, and oh my god, if that's the case, then I hope that their points deducted and then they're kicked out. If it's found out that they've done it more than just that once,
more than the
that is gaining. That is then proven because of when it was to when they started playing well and going on an on form run. Then absolutely. I think
it's quite common in Europe.
I'm sure it is, and it's one of those if it is a one-off, if it's a one-off thing,
just give them a fine.
It isn't open. It's owned by Steve Gibson, the borough chairman. So the training grounds in the middle of a complex, a resort, a golf course. It's kind of public. So to prove
Leeds did
that there was wrongdoing would be really difficult as a one-off.
But a Southampton fan, been winding up all week around it. News come out today, which is Thursday today, that they're going to possibly delay the final. The hearing has to be done before Tuesday the 19th. Has to be done. Middlesbrough have gone back into training as if they are preparing for this game. Hull have no idea, but they need to know who they're preparing for.
Sure.
So it's an interesting one. It's
how can they delay the final?
What goes next?
How can they delay the final? Because there probably won't be any bandwidth open at Wembley.
No, you're right in saying that because it's one of the weekends are all clogged up with different things. They've got a World Cup pending where Southampton will have internationals there. Hull may have some internationals there. It's going to be an interesting one.
I think they'll find I think that's fine.
I think that but that's fine. If evidence comes out that they've been doing this more than just Middlesbrough, they've been doing this.
But the investigation could take 12 months. I mean, look how long it's taken.
Well, let's be honest.
And then you've got the appeal.
These clubs have got very good lawyers. This thing, they could string this thing out for a year or more, couldn't they?
Obviously, the media attention to this has blown it up a bit, and now it has to be investigated. So from a football fan point of view, what do you think about when they were doing the press conference and the reporter just asks him straight out, "Are you a cheater?" And then it's like, right, have some respect, and they're like usher him out of the door. And they're asking him about it, and he says, "I can't say anything about it. There's an investigation going on. I can't say anything." Then they ask him again, and he says, "I don't know what you want me to say. I've already given my response. I can't say anything because." And then he outright just says, "Are you a cheat?" and then literally he gets bundled out, and as he's being taken out, their press officer just turns around and says, "Have some respect," and then they march him out the door. Now, are you all right with that, or do you think he's? Yes, he asked the question. Push it a little bit, but then shut up. Do you think it was? Do you like that kind of? Those kind of cameras that will just.
If that was Ferguson, what would he have done?
Not really.
No press member.
The next press conference there wouldn't be one.
We're on YouTube, so I can't really say much about that. But I think it's a bit of a bullshit clickbait thing to do. I think if he'd have been outside the training ground and he'd have shouted that out as he walked, exactly.
What's he going to say?
Oh, you've got me.
We did actually. We did it for months.
There's no doubt there'll be a Netflix documentary, and there's all rumours going around, but apparently they found a receipt that links this guy to the coffee house of where so now apparently they're going to go around all the clubs and link all the evidence.
Tell you what, let's go back a few years, okay? Can you remember Sheffield United took the FA to court when they got relegated and West Ham didn't, and they had two ineligible players in the team? And West Ham got away with a fine. So I think if you're looking kind of
what was there? West Ham got away with it as well when they were doing
that was arguably
what was it?
It was a clear breach of rules.
Exactly.
Really,
who were the two players?
This is more grey.
Tevez and Mascherano that went there and owning. So they were owned by the.
It was an independent
owner. So even though they were in it to play for them, because the club didn't actually own the two players. And then obviously they split. Then Tevez went to Man United.
Man City first.
I also got
he went to Man United first.
You remember Steve?
He went to Man United first.
You're right.
08. He went to 08. He went to Man United, and it was Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez. And I think they had about 30 goals in all competitions each.
Yeah.
I mean, like they were destroying teams.
Yeah.
And then he was there for 2 seasons. The following season, he went to Man City because Man
Unforgivable.
City put that massive.
all over the city.
As soon as when you're driving in on the motorway, they had that massive thing
Welcome
saying,
to Manchester.
"Welcome to Manchester," and then they had Tevez in a blue shirt.
Well, speaking of Wembley, big shout out, the Brighton women have got to the FA Cup final at Wembley.
Well done to the
Well
girls.
done to the girls.
What
Amazing.
brilliant news. Own stadium, qualifying FA Cup final. Fantastic for the club.
Yeah,
super.
very good.
Really, really well deserved as well, from what I could see. It was a very, very late winner, wasn't it? Like 95th minute from 2-0 down against a really good Liverpool side. So,
And
fantastic.
the other event at Wembley recently was Rochdale in the National League final. So 96th minute against 96th minute against York. Thought they got promoted, got pegged back.
Yeah.
They went down in most of their playoffs that they had, came back from behind to win. They were 2-0 down at Wembley against Bournemouth. So then the same player, De Zervere, scored in the 96th minute to take it to extra time.
It's a pretty incredible story, isn't it? To be honest, I mean, it's absolutely insane. That I mean, we talked about the game against York, didn't we, on this podcast? When we thought, well, it can't get any more dramatic than that.
You mentioned the ground moment. There was two in one. There was two literally in the course of like 10 seconds.
It's more of the running stuff.
Go one way and score, and they thought that was it, and then it goes the other way, and it's York score, and it's.
And there's a big campaign for the 2-up campaign that naturally they both got 100 points. Yes. They have both been and not getting promoted. Rochdale eventually, but they took it the hard route. But if it had been 2-up +1 in the playoffs, it meant Crawley would have gone down, which would have been even better.
We had someone here that supported Crawley, and George is no longer. Unfortunately, we talk like he's dead. He's no longer with us. He's not here. But we enjoyed.
Probably at home playing.
I hope he does come back because we actually really enjoyed having George with us.
It was good having George. So welcome back anytime.
He's welcome back anytime.
And just before the adverts, I want to talk about some goals this weekend or this week that we've had. Goals of the week.
So goals of the week.
Toma só rajadão, ai, toma rajadão. Olha o bico do fuzil, tu não dá prestou atenção, ai, toma.
We'll start off with Doku against Brentford. Peach and McCurler again. He's 3 in a week now, but that one.
He loves an outside the box.
He didn't really have much right to score from the angle, did he?
Yeah.
He wrapped his foot around it. Fantastic goal.
He loves a big shot though, doesn't he?
Unstoppable. Good for fantasy points as well. Maeda against Rangers to keep Celtic in overhead kick.
God. I mean,
is there a better overhead kick for setting yourself up?
So the fact that was it. It's the fact that he created it himself, flicking it up, and then it was absolute precision as well. I mean, if he tried that another 100 times in training, it's never going in.
No,
Joe hit a decent one.
The gods are lying for him.
There was a good overhead clearance as well, wasn't there?
Going the wrong way.
Slightly going the wrong way, and ended up being quite a good pass to the opposition to score a goal. But,
next one, if England get any free kicks at the World Cup, Rashford against Madrid.
Another one. Not the first either. Another one.
Absolutely superb.
What is it? 35 million. They think they're going to pay it, or do you think they're going to take the loan? They said they want to.
I think he's going to be near 25 at the end of the day.
Still,
absolute steal. It's whether they're prepared to pay all of his wages. I think the point of Man United wanting to get him off their books. I think. Low amount of money. They pay barely nothing for him, but keep his high wages. It works out for them. Works out for Man United because they get him off the books. He's not going to leave Barcelona to come back to Man United where he's going to be hated.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. But it was one hell of a goal. I've watched the replay of it a few times in slow mo, and the way he wraps his foot around it, because it's right on the edge of the on the edge. It's like when you get a free kick and you go, it's too close. It's too close. It's that you're going to hit the wall, or it's too close in. If it was a yard out, it was right on the edge, and he just wrapped his foot around
And
it.
if you look at the
Incredible
factors,
technique.
winning the game, they win the league.
Yeah.
They're playing against Real Madrid. Courtois in goal.
Yeah.
It's not like you're playing a friendly.
Yeah.
Wrapping your foot around it.
Absolutely.
He learned all that from Ronaldo
Class.
when he was a kid.
Well, yeah. I
And
mean,
then the last goal is a bit of a Brighton link with this one, is Amari Koza-Dubry in the playoffs against Brighton. Have to bring this one because it was a brilliant goal.
Yeah.
But he looks like
getting back, man.
a good player, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he's been welcome there. They've got a chant for him.
They love him. It's a good one as well. It's a good one. But it's I know it's different standard of football. I get it, but my God, what a season he's had for them.
Well, we've got a goalkeeper that's had an amazing season in the Championship with Coventry. Now got.
I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him back in the Brighton shirt. I'd love to see him back at some point. I remember when he first came on to us, and the Arsenal fans, a lot of Arsenal fans, were gutted about it. There was a bit, they were saying, "I can't believe we're getting rid of this kid," and maybe
well, we'll see what happens. Right, I need a top up.
We're gonna refresh our glasses.
And then we've got the socials coming up. What else we got coming up? Big J.
We've got a second feature for you. We've got the week ahead, some upcoming games, and then we've got a few merch pieces to show
Some
you.
merch pieces.
Super.
Giveaways. Not sellable at the moment, but just ideas. But yeah, we'll go into that. Awesome. We've also got Tom's obscure fact.
Oh yes.
Which we've finished every podcast now. We're going to finish off. It's going to be one of the last things. Tom's obscure football facts. And we'll see how fucking obscure he can get them. There is some, even just a mention of it, there's some fucking weird shit going on. We'll talk about that later. Have a good one. We'll talk to you in 5 minutes or so. Adverts.
Able to pick up good yardage on the play. The best part of this defense is their defensive line and their interior
Hello?
linebackers.
Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? Yo, who's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie. Yo. What's up? What's that? Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True.
Lady, where art thou?
They drink Darling Black Label. I'll just go and ask.
Right, welcome back, guys. Cheers.
Cheers,
boys.
Cheers, guys.
Good break. And we're back. So we're going to get straight into the socials.
Into the world of socials, indeed.
Going.
Right. Well, First one I've got this week is a slightly odd one. A comment from an Arsenal fan, a tweet, who bizarrely says, Arsenal Football Club against Qatar and Abu Dhabi, we're trying to save football.
I don't understand that.
I don't understand it either, and someone else has pointed out, he calls himself Well Beast. Someone has written in the comments, at Well Beast, your stadium is literally called the Emirates, you clown.
I mean, literally. Yeah.
So, slightly weird one there.
I have heard, just on that, I have heard some absolute nonsense over the last 2 weeks from Arsenal supporters.
Who hasn't?
Especially like it's the greatest. This would be the greatest football achievement.
Oh my
this
God!
This is the greatest Arsenal team there's ever been.
The greatest 25.
Oh God! It's not the greatest team. It's the greatest 25.
Oh yeah. It would surpass everyone else's achievements in world football.
Hang on, I've got some straws I want to clutch at. Them out.
How many points are they going to win the league on?
Please.
Yeah. Well,
they're just forgettable, right?
Very forgettable.
Very forgettable. And the fans are obviously morons. Right. What's your next one, Steve?
My next one is I did like this one. So, Jose Mourinho clearly is not a fan of Jamie Carragher. Right? I don't know why. I don't know whether they've had a bit of a beef in the past.
A little bit.
A bit of a fallout.
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a quote directly from Mourinho that I saw this week. Jamie Carragher talks too much. For someone who isn't even among the top 1,000 defenders in football history, cutting. How can someone who never won the Premier League talk about what it takes to win the Premier League?
That's exactly that.
That's Jose on Jamie Carragher.
Who's the female that does the sports presenting on Sky? And they've got
Kelly Kate.
Is it Kelly Kate? And then they've got Thierry Henry, Carragher, and Meeks. And they've got Meeks.
Kate Abdo.
So it's going. I mean, I see it all the time. It's just repeated all the time, and she's like, so today we've got, and then she goes through. They've got whoever it is, all of his accolades. Then they've got Thierry Henry, all of his accolades, and then she goes, and then if inappropriate jokes and fooling around is your thing, we've got Carragher and Meeks. That's like, it's perfect. It's a perfect announcement for the both, so it just sums him up. I would maybe not agree with top 1,000, but I would definitely agree that he ain't that good.
Very cutting indeed. Very, very Jose. I like that one, I have to say.
Just quickly on that, apparently going back to Real
Madrid. I heard that because he's gone unbeaten, hasn't he, all season with Benfica? So he's an invincible side.
But he's going to finish third.
And
crazy.
Which is mad.
It's mad. Yeah. Well, more news on that if it
exactly.
arises.
So I went down a bit of a loosely socials, but I went down a bit of a wormhole on
that picture. I'd say so. What the fuck is that?
I'm gonna blame Justin for this because he was talking about features, and I was starting to trawl through different things, and I came across some like freak injuries for players, and I'm not gonna read them all, but there are some fucking great ones in there. Like. So the first one I found was a guy called Rami Kaid, a here and even defender, so Dutch league defender. He broke his jaw eating a carrot, which ruled him out for 5 weeks.
A carrot.
A carrot.
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry. Our faces both did exactly the same. We both did. What?
Yeah.
A carrot.
So he was out for 5 weeks because he broke his jaw eating a carrot.
He didn't. His missus clocked him on.
I mean, and
then he said it was a carrot. It's true.
I mean, I suppose
his missus might have thrown a carrot at him at great speed.
Or is he really upset, Jasper?
Yeah.
I think my second favourite was so a Queen of the South goalkeeper, a guy called Sam Henderson, was struck by a runaway cow whilst visiting his dad's farm in 2018, ruling him out of contention for the Scottish side for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
That's a big.
There you go.
Some heifer.
Yeah, he got absolutely slammed by a cow.
Yeah, why not? I've had that. Look, that's no joking matter. That's happened to me several times in my youth.
It's a good job he's Morgans, otherwise they couldn't hit a cow's ass with a banjo.
He did have no ball.
Yeah, no ball. Yeah, I think we've all been in some way incapacitated by a heifer. Somewhere along the line.
This one you might.
Janice was the name of mine.
this one you might know. So the former Wimbledon goalkeeper Dave Bessant, who was at the time playing for Tom's side, Chelsea. I can see who knows where I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah.
He was told that he would never play for Chelsea again. But during pre-season in 1993, the football god sealed his fate at Stamford Bridge. Besant dropped a 2-kilogram jar of salad cream on his big toe, severing tendons and effectively ending his Chelsea career.
He ended his football career by dropping a jar on his foot.
Can we talk about the weird thing in this? 2 kilograms.
What the hell was he doing? I mean, macro. He needs that much.
2 kilos.
I mean, the dietitians in modern football would go, fucking 2 kilograms of mate, what the,
Dave, hurry up. Boss is having a go. He wants us on training ground. Hang on, I'm coming.
He's a keeper, how's he dropped it?
He wasn't a very good keeper. He didn't have his gloves on.
This is the great irony, isn't it?
Yeah, 1993 gloves weren't as good as
he should surely have been able to get down and at least palm it away. You know what I mean? Okay, maybe not catch it. It's a heavy bottle of mayonnaise, but just
he held it. He didn't need to catch it. He had it already.
I've got one more of these. So, the brilliantly named Inverness defender Kirk Broadfoot had egg on his face after a freak injury whilst playing for Rangers in 2009. The intricacies of a poached egg were lost on the Scotland international, who instead opted for the microwave to cook his eggs. The move backfired spectacularly, sending Broadfoot to hospital with scalding burns to his face. Yes, he did try to cook poached eggs in a microwave.
And it opened the microwave.
And
it just...
yeah. So, natural selection there. Yeah. I think that's all you can say about that.
Darwin Award.
Yeah.
The only thing that links them there is footballers should just not have food.
Yeah. I mean, it's an extremely dangerous way to cook eggs.
This is why football clubs have chefs. They're not allowed to touch anything.
It's literally like one of the only things, isn't it, that they have to do on their own. Yeah. And as we can see,
they can't even do that.
They can't do that. Bad idea. So
yeah,
there you go.
Is that it?
That's it. For the
very good.
Yeah.
Liking that. What have we got next?
So we've got some games that are upcoming. Quite important ones, really. The first one, we'll go in some kind of chronological order. Villa-Liverpool is a huge game for Champions League for both of those clubs.
Massive.
But also for those chasing that sixth place for Champions League.
Liverpool are sneaky fuckers, and they always manage to just get something out of.
Well,
it's at Villa Park.
Yeah, it is at Villa Park. I mean,
I'm not. Look, Villa have got a lot on their plate at the moment. They want that title. They've got. Let's face it.
But they can slip out of contention for that. That fifth spot is not guaranteed at all for them, is it? So they can't afford to take their foot off the gas completely in the league. But obviously, from a very selfish point of view, from Brighton's point of view, we really want them to stay. Fifth.
Yeah, Palomarine's a Liverpool fan, and he says that it's 7 players from that kind of first 15, 16 going to be leaving Liverpool this summer.
I can very much believe that.
So, are they wanting to turn it on for a team that they're not going to be playing for next year?
Yeah, and
obviously they might not even have anyway.
I was going to say exactly that. The
Chelsea at all.
That last day of the season, I'm going to be I'm going to be at the game. I'm going to be at Brighton Man United, but I am going to be glued to my phone. There's literally, it's going to be, I just can see it coming. It's just going to be one of those days where throughout 90 minutes it just goes like this.
Yeah.
So the points is 6 points, like 3 teams below Brighton, up to basically fourth, fourth, fifth place. You know, there's
a lot still to be sorted out.
6 points that way, 6 points
so
that
much,
way, and any of those teams can kind of like travel up and down on the last 2 games of the season. So the next game, we'll see how that goes. I think most of those teams are going to get something out of that, whether it be a win or a draw. But I think the last game of the season was some of the games that
it'll definitely go
Man
down to the
City,
last game.
if it goes down to the last,
It will.
Man City are going to be fighting for that title. But then they're playing a team that's fighting for European place. There's just going to be so much happening.
Yeah.
So the Liverpool
You
Villa
can't
game,
take your
the
eyes
winner
off it.
guarantees themselves Champions League football
Yeah.
because they can't
Yeah.
score. However,
Yeah.
Villa, they do have something to play for. They've got the Europa League final, which will get them that Champions League spot.
Of course.
But in theory, Brighton can catch them and have a better
They can.
goal difference.
They can.
Yeah.
So they have to have a little bit of a focus on the league as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bournemouth are in an even better position to catch them. With,
Yeah,
you know,
and out
we'll
of all
discuss,
of the-
we'll discuss that.
Difficult teams, but out of all of those teams, Brighton have definitely got the better of the.
Tell you how competitive it is. Nottingham Forest could finish above Chelsea.
Yeah.
yeah, that's mad.
It's crazy.
There's a similar situation, just to deviate a little bit, in Spain at the moment, where 7th place and 18th place are separated by 9 points.
I saw
With
that.
3 games to go.
Yeah.
It's insane that
Yeah.
a team in the relegation zone can get Europe and Europe
Yeah.
relegated. But speaking of sort of last game of the season, Saturday 12:30, Celtic against Hearts. It's a winner takes all game. So Hearts need a point.
I've never been so interested in the finales of a Scottish Premier League.
Well,
Never. I mean,
I've got a friend of mine who is he's also Chelsea, but he is a massive Hearts, massive Rangers fan, and he is properly into that, like Rangers Celtic divide. You could the stuff that he puts on Facebook. John, if you won't watch this, but his son does a really good podcast actually. But and he's quite a good comedian. But anyway, the point is that they're all now supporting Hearts. The entirety of Scotland, apart
everyone
from
except for Celtic, right?
the entirety of the South, because of the Tony Bloom thing. I think it'll be massive.
Yeah.
The first team the last team, to not win it, the Celtic and Rangers, was Sir Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen. That's how long ago.
Yeah.
I mean those,
even like Motherwell, like the games that Motherwell have played some amazing football this. Really good, really attractive football this season.
That game. And do you see the game in the week? The Motherwell. I mean that.
So I think it opens it up.
VAR controversy apparently.
The drama there.
Incredible,
That's the 99th minute of the game. So my understanding is if the result had stayed the same and Motherwell had won, then Hearts they're as good as won it, right? Unless they get spanked 7-0 or 8-0,
it's a little bit closer than that. So if Motherwell had beaten Celtic and Hearts had won, they would have been champions.
Yeah.
If Celtic had drawn, Celtic need to turn a 6-goal swing. So a 3-0 win would have been enough to win the league.
Yeah.
So Hearts could have afforded to lose 2-0,
so they could have
still win
lost,
it.
Right.
But now it is very much Hearts need to not lose the game.
They just have to not lose.
It's in their own hands, isn't it?
It was a huge goal.
I've had no interest
Scottish football
because of the way it is, because of it's either Celtic or Rangers. Obviously, Rangers were out of it for a season and a bit because they went under and they lost all their. Had to go down to the division and then to work their way back up. I mean, that was within a season. So that season didn't count because obviously Celtic are going to fucking win it because there's no one else that came anywhere near them.
Yeah.
But this, I don't think this just opens it up to Hearts being in the mix. I think Hearts win this. I think it opens it up for other clubs. I think that there's never been as much interest in from south of the border in Scottish Premier League
Would
than
agree,
there
yeah.
is at the moment. So I think that opens it up as well. I think as far as European places go, they've always, obviously, because they've got their own league, you've got those Champions League spots. They're just there, but they never really do anything. But whereas you're just increasing that thing of Scottish club presence in European competitions that could actually do quite well.
Yeah.
And the more Hearts grow, the more Motherwell grow, the more these clubs around them grow, the more that Celtic and Rangers are going to have to grow. Otherwise, they're going to lose out.
It's good for Scottish football.
It's great. Definitely.
I think it opens it up now.
It's long overdue.
It actually makes it interesting.
But it's still a strange scenario up there where you play each team 4 times in a season.
Yeah.
They need to get that league to a position where they're not playing twice.
Yeah, I agree.
And then following that, whatever happens in that game, we've got the FA Cup final, which is on a Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Oh my!
And being covered from 9 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember when we were kids?
Yeah, this is like going back to the 1980s. What are they thinking of?
They're going to be on the coaches with them and everything.
Brilliant decision, by the way.
I love that. I love it.
But you know what the
I'm
best
surprised
decision about that
that
is fans can go out for the day, get a drink, have a good time, go into the stadium, enjoy the football, come out, then go and have another little drink or a party, or if you want.
Apparently the box parks are booked up and
Box parks brilliant.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's where it should always be, and I think most football fans
definitely.
would agree, wouldn't they, that that's the FA Cup final should
It's a day out,
and the coverage should start early. It's become less of a spectacle, hasn't it? Over the years.
That's Champions League's fault.
Champions League
is.
So if Brighton ever get there again, will they do what they did in the 80s with, what was his name, Steve, famous defender.
Foster.
Steve Foster. When they turned up in the helicopter. Only team to ever take Wembley in a helicopter.
It was a RNLI helicopter, wasn't it?
I think it was one that actually flew the people out to the oil rigs on, because they needed to be able to get the whole team on it.
But I think it's a great decision. Saturday, 3 o'clock. Quite rightly, it's a standalone, no prem games.
My kids don't get my
perfect.
Even obviously West Brom were knocked out against Norwich, Brighton were knocked out. Again, tough games Brighton have had in the last 3 years.
I mean,
if you've got
last time we had a home tie in the FA Cup.
Got to beat the best.
We've had away draws against the
beat the
Premier League
best.
sides.
You've got to beat the best. So it is that kind of competition. But you've had Man United, then Newcastle, then Liverpool. You've had no breaks. West Brom unfortunately couldn't get through. Actually, pretty dominant Norwich side. But Chelsea have against the odds, I think.
Yeah.
For your season.
Considering the way the season's gone.
Yeah,
Port Vale were favourites in the quarters. So.
Rightly so with Lincoln. It's quite interesting. So, is it a bad season when we got to the semi-final of the League Cup and got to the final of the FA Cup?
Yeah.
And you're not badly, but look, for a team that's going through such like we were talking about earlier, with what you're going through with the managers and the managing directors and owners and all the rest of it, it's a bit of a pig in a stable situation. It's just running around bashing into walls and not really knowing where the door is. But I think that the owners have realised that they're making changes. They're not just rushing into stuff now and getting another manager for 4 years and paying him a severance pay in 6 months.
Well, they've got to get the next one.
They've got to get the next one right. Who's your...
The talk that's going on at the moment is Xabi Alonso's been interviewed twice.
Okay.
And I'm not sure about, and it's not because of Liverpool.
Do the fans want him?
No, the fans won't like him because of the Liverpool connection.
Because of the Liverpool connection.
Do you know what? Benitez did an amazing job for us to get us into Europe. Okay?
Yeah.
The fans all hated him.
Never took him.
I thought respect to the bloke. So there always is that connection.
Yeah, because there's a real niggle between Chelsea and Liverpool. Big time.
Yeah,
if Coventry come off, and Lamp stays with them, and has a good season and keeps him in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a future?
No, I don't.
Do you think he'll go abroad, or do you think he'll end up at? Do you think he's a future Chelsea manager?
No,
Because he has done it. He has been there.
He's been there twice.
Yeah,
He's done it
because he was caretaker.
But
for a time as
caretaker,
well,
but
wasn't
would
he?
he
lost every game.
Cannon fodder at one point, wasn't he?
Cannon fodder, yeah.
But it's interesting. I love
Gerrard
that.
had the same look. Gerrard had the same stick, right? And then he went to Rangers. Was outstanding at Rangers. He's not had the luck.
Then went to Villa.
Yeah, but then
He was poor.
Poor at Villa. But then again, I think the thing is going to Villa and expecting to make decisions and having a management structure that he's got to answer to didn't really suit him that much. He got to make every decision at Rangers, and it showed. Lampard gets to make every decision at Coventry, and it shows.
I think at Chelsea,
you've got to have the right structure for sure.
if he spoke to the management again, they probably made the biggest mistake, not just biting the bullet with Tuchel. Tuchel committed a cardinal sin internally, and you know the owners were new in there, didn't know how the system works. Should have really looked after their man, given him the coverage that he needed, and you know, and kept it going and learned from him. Instead, what did they do? They went.
It was a hasty decision.
It was, and then
it looks it now anyway.
And then before you know, Potter's there. Potter was out of his depth.
You know, it was almost as bad as a decision as West Ham getting rid of Moyes. I'd say it as that.
Careful what you wish for.
Whatever manager is there next season, if Chelsea win the FA Cup, they will have European football. So we'll see what happens.
It's a huge motivation.
It's a huge motivation.
You know, it would be a season-saving victory, and it's one game, isn't it? So anything can happen.
And we've beaten City before. You know, we haven't got that bad.
I think Pep. I don't particularly like. I mean, Pep's a great manager, but I don't particularly like his style of football. Don't particularly like what he's done to the Premier League, because everyone Pep does it. He's done well. We do well. And everyone does this tippy-tappy bullshit football.
But John, do they still play it like Pep used to? It's now just got this tippy-tappy slow, hasn't it?
Yeah, but he doesn't have to. But then he didn't have financial fair play, and he could just literally go and buy. He had. Let's face it. When he was winning trophies, I think that's the only thing probably Chelsea, the Abramovich years of Chelsea have got over the Pep years, is that Pep was literally had two teams. He had. There's not one world-class player you could take out through injury or take off the bench and replace. They were pretty unstoppable. For 6 games, Aguero was on the bench. Like, seriously, you've got a squad where you can put Aguero on the bench for 6 games in a row. You haven't got a bad squad. When he came from Barcelona, he had all the money. He had the same thing. He had literally 2 squads of the greatest players in the world. When he came from what was the club before that?
Bayern Munich.
Was it Bayern? Bayern, he had the same thing. He went. They said, right, go and get whoever you want. He had seasons to go and get whoever he wanted, and not to the level that he did at Barcelona and Man City. Because it was still
a handsy-flick team, wasn't it?
In Pep's managerial career, he's never gone back-to-back without winning a title in his managerial career, which is huge. And then, speaking of winning leagues, Premier League is back on Sunday. So we've got a few games on Sunday. We'll focus on, obviously, the Brighton-Leeds game to start off with at Ellen Road. It's a tough game, but it's a big 3 points to put us back in that
game.
It's massive. It's massive for us.
I would prefer that as the home game and Man United is the away.
Old Trafford, do we?
No, I mean, I know what you mean. I know what you do, but it is. But
good team.
I'm gonna temper that. I'm gonna temper that with the fact that Leeds are safe, right? There's
nothing to play.
They also played a game on Monday night. We've had an extra couple of days rest. All these little things count in the course of the season. We got no Matoma, but
Is he going to play on the left?
Well,
and then push.
Minte will probably go wide.
I think he's going to play. Looking at the way De Kuyper played, and Kelly, because you can play Kellyoglu or De Kuyper in a wide position. So I'm not too worried about that for the 2 games. If it was You know, if
More
we were
of a
6 months
wing-back
ago, I'd be
style
worried.
player, though.
Yeah, but they can both whip good crosses in. They've both
yeah.
got energy up and down the pitch, so I'm not too concerned about it.
You
And
can
I
play Minte out wide on the left as well.
Yeah.
March had a good cameo. Is he fit enough to do maybe
This
the
is
first half
why
an
I
hour?
say.
Yeah,
This is
he
why I
could
say
play a
out
little
of
bit.
everyone.
Yeah.
Brighton have definitely got the easier last two because Man United, nothing to play for now.
Exactly.
Have Champions League football.
Yeah.
Resting players.
Flip-flops on.
They're pretty much
They're on the beach,
On the beach.
Yeah.
Leeds the same. Although Leeds their form has just gone up and up and up towards the end of the season.
Yeah, they're on
but
the
they are safe. They are. They.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got. Maybe they've got a hand on the boarding pass, not quite on the beach yet. That's my worry about them. The Man United game, I think, tanked Man United at home.
I hope so.
Last
But
game
I
of the
think,
season,
you know,
Man United have got nothing to play for.
Yeah.
They need the players that are in Man United have got World Cups to think about.
But
also a lot going.
There's so many variables to it though, because you know, and this is why I think the Leeds game is so crucial.
Have they got eight out of the first team?
We have to win
in
that
the World Cup in the Man United squad. I think it's 8.
If for Brighton, if there's a lot riding on that last game at home to United, that's the problem.
How many out of the Manchester United squad will be playing in the first 11? Will be playing in the World Cup.
I'll have a quick look. But I think you're right. That Leeds game is the important one, isn't it? To get, I think six points guarantees Europe, obviously, naturally.
Yes.
I think 4 points probably does enough.
Just
3 is depending. You're relying on others. And I think
Leeds
are starting to go off the boil a little bit.
Yeah, they've drawn a lot of games. So I just think we need to get it over the line on Sunday. Just get a win ugly, win however.
Yeah.
Just find a way to win. You know, Leeds are they'll be motivated to win because it's the last game of the season in front of their own fans. But that's about it.
At least
that's about it.
At least you're not going to have other Brighton fans crying on social media about he's one of your own, Sean. Like they did when Leeds played it.
I am going to make it my mission on Sunday to try and find that Leeds fan who looks like Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Because I've got time. I'm getting there about midday. I'm going to scour the pubs in Leeds until I find him, and then post it again just to piss people off.
9 United players represented currently with the current squads, which aren't fully announced yet. But 9 players.
9. So I thought it was 8, but 9 players even more. So they're not going to want to. They're not going to want to push to the.
I think Steve's right. I don't think we need to go into that game needing the 3 points. I think relax. 3 points at Leeds are the bigger 3 points. I think, and then it's just just relax.
Leeds is definitely the bigger game for us.
And then just really briefly touch on the other end of the table. Quickly, we've got West Ham are away at Newcastle, and then Spurs are playing Chelsea a couple of days later.
Tough game.
Both tough games. So
They are. They really are. I mean, Newcastle have hit a little bit. Form, the last couple of games they've been a lot better, haven't they? They lost
West Ham
5 or 6 in a row.
Staying up. West Ham are staying up.
So
there's no way after West Ham bottled the chance to send them down. After Crystal Palace bottled the chance to send them down. Another London club. Then they've got another London club in this world. There's no way Chelsea are going to let in the Premier League era. Chelsea are going to sing this song for the next 100 years. I mean, that they sent them down.
It is motivation.
Do you know what we've only lost twice in the Premier League era at home to and in one game, Gary Lineker scored the winner.
Yeah.
Jesus
Christ. I think with Tottenham, I think quite rightly they could lose both of those games. The issue being is I think West Ham could also lose both of their games.
Yeah, they could.
And Tottenham could stay up by default.
You're right. And
I don't know.
Again,
I just
the West Ham Newcastle one's huge for
West Ham
They've gone against something, haven't they? They need to win it.
They're playing first as well. Playing first. So, speaking of playing first as well, Arsenal play Burnley on Monday evening. Now, on paper, you'd put your house on them winning that game comfortably, but you never know. I mean, if they drop points, it leaves the door wide open for Bournemouth City the following day.
I don't know because
again that will involve Brighton as well. With
Burnley are a very physical side. And they won't take that nonsense in the box.
No.
I mean, the likes of Tarkowski and
They didn't play bad against their game against Liverpool when they played earlier on in the season. Wasn't a bad game. I mean, it was a well thought out game. They didn't
just
do
just
too
poor
bad.
though, aren't they? If you were
they
talking
just
about,
don't have
you're
the
right,
quality.
John.
They
We're
don't
talking
have
about
the
Wolves
quality.
being a really terrible team this year. Awful.
Yeah.
They are 3 points behind Burnley.
Yeah.
So they're not a good side.
they're not a good
They don't
side.
have the quality, and I think
don't have a
I
manager.
think you're right.
No.
On paper, you would say
On paper.
all day
All day long.
Arsenal
But you never know.
3-0, 4-0.
I
But
can't see it happening. I can't see it happening.
And
I
then
mean-
by the time we come back next week, the last game of the week as such, because we do this on a Thursday, is that Europa League final. So Villa, we will know
Villa.
by this time next
we'll
week
know.
what is the last permutations of the last game. of the season.
And look, I might not look.
FA Cup finals done.
I got
Europa League
my
finals
issues.
done. Yeah, we're in a clearer position.
Obviously, being a West Brom supporter, historically, I've got issues with Villa. Having a pretty much Brighton podcast, going Brighton season ticket, Brighton Sun, I've got my issues with Crystal Palace. And just because their fans are all wankers, I've got my issues with Arsenal, right? But I've just got to say this, regardless of the teams, I am hugely proud of the Premier League to have an English club represented in all three finals.
It's great. It's great for the English game.
Insanely good.
And it's also good for the coefficients in terms of that's why the 6th place is getting that chance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the more success that we have in Europe, the better for everyone.
And then
really.
we've got a World Cup, and if England get anywhere near I would say probably if we get another semi-final or final this time round in the World Cup, again, it just shows the quality of football that we've got in this country. I know that we've got a lot of foreign players, and I know we've got a lot of foreign coaches, but essentially it just shows you how well it's run. The points between, like, we're not in Spain, Italy, Germany talking about the top two, or even Scotland now talking about the top three. We're in the English Premier League talking about literally from 12th place to first place, like. And then the sections in that where the points are so close, anything could happen.
With
We're
6
talking
games
about
to go, up to
relegation, anything could happen. We're talking about championship, which is crazy. We're talking about crazy moments in National League, which is outside of the top 4 leagues. Do you know what I mean? It just shows you how exciting, and how good we've got it. So, regardless of that, hugely proud of English teams going out there and representing in
I'm going to take that as a very, very niche snippet of a tedious link and link us to our giveaway of our Japanese superstar.
Before this, we are going to go straight over to Tom for Tom's random football facts.
You want facts? I'll give you facts.
What have you got for us?
Well, actually, guys, not a lot of people know this, but the young Tottenham player, Jed Spence, also capped by England, has anybody noticed his particularly wide feet? Because the player, the Tottenham superstar, Jed Spence, has a slight advantage. He has 6 toes on each foot.
There's no way.
Is that allowed? That is absolutely correct.
Is that even allowed?
Did you have special boots?
Does this come from Wolverhampton?
Reputations are made on this kind of information.
There you go. Tom's random fact.
Tom, this is brilliant. I love that.
We're going to put this out there. Stick it in the comments. We want a random fact that beats Jed Spence's 6 toes.
And you're going to have to work hard to get one to beat that.
Work hard. So we want obscure or funny facts. Stick them in the comments. We'll pick one out. The winner will get a Matoma 22 shirt and I shall show you the
Looking
front of that
rather
shirt,
splendid.
which is the 22 with our logo on the sleeve. And then we'll drop that in the comments. We'll read out who we think is the winner next week.
Absolutely.
You'll get a message and we'll send you one of these shirts out. And on that note, mind blown, we've actually done a podcast that's had some kind of structure. And this is hugely thanks to Justin.
Massively.
Now, we were kind of like, we sat here, we drank beer, we talked bullshit for 10 minutes, and it was good.
We've still done that tonight, but we've still done some kind of structure.
So I've got to say, with I know Tom missed out last week, but from us, me and Steve, we're really happy that these guys have joined us.
And Tom, thanks, fellas.
They're going to take us to the next level in this podcast arena. And we really hope that you can, put some comments, subscribe, and just likes and comments. Do the algorithm and let everyone. So you hear this on every single podcast going and every single, but they really do. Like comments, likes, subscribe, and let's see if we can move this a little bit forward. We've got guests coming in. Well, one thing we are trying to get done is we did mention it last week, so we're trying to get for the last game, the last pod of the season. So we're going to do our end of season sort of little party like we did last time.
Absolutely.
So we've got some good stuff coming up there. We're going to try and get a room full of people and we can have a really good time. And and each week we're going to do this. So
there's more giveaways to come.
There'll be more giveaways each week. But thank you very much, guys. Thanks for listening and watching, and catch you on the next one.
See you next time.